I want to ask, you asked everybody, are you married or not, to everyone?
I said virality and this is what you went.
No. So I want to ask, do you think that is one of the factor or maybe indicator or somehow how does that impact the entrepreneurship journey that we're on? Because that is the hot topic in my family right now. Every dinner table conversation surrounds it. Like for context, I come from a very traditional Jat family in Haryana, in that everyone my age is married with a kid in our family. So, and I'm trying to stay, like push that thing, like let me do my work. But you've asked that question to everybody. Do you think that is, maybe with your words I can convince them better?
I lived in Haryana, 3 years when I was a kid.
Where?
Karnal.
Ah,
I went to Dayal Singh Public School in Karnal. I'm still in touch with a few people from there. They were quite sweet. Thank you. But I don't know the answer to this. I think generally in life, if you live your life based on what other people think you should do, I think eventually you end up at a point when you regret it at some point. So unless you want to do it, I don't think you should be too fussed about what your society, family or community thinks.
even family, like other people say, like, oh, who cares? But if it's your like parents,
Yeah.
them.
I was thinking about this recently. I'm 39 years old. And some friends of mine were like, New Year's, you should do this, you should do that. And I was not making any plans. And then while I was thinking about it, at 39, an average Indian lives to 73. I probably have 34 New Years left. In 34 New Years, I probably have 20 of them where I'll be too old to do the things I can do today. So practically, I don't have that many December 31st left in my life. Good ones in the manner that I perceive good today. I only probably have like 10 if I were to be pushing it.
Maybe more, since you do keep check of your health.
Yeah.
Compared to average.
Yeah. And when we have so little time, you have a bit more than I, but it feels stupid to do things because others want us to do it. Because our time is very finite. We never think about it that way, but we're not going to live forever. Nobody is.
And do you also think like relationship in general is tricky for entrepreneurs? Like entrepreneurs think very differently. Like I can see a very different version of this world which a lot of people cannot see. So when things start like in a relationship, they're fine. Okay, I can understand you're busy and thing. But you want to see that world and you have limited time, you know that. Right? And then once like that understanding fades away and it becomes difficult. And I mean, you've seen like a lot of entrepreneurs successful, they're getting divorced, stuff like that. So do you think like it's tricky? Like if like also being said, like if both of you are not growing on or say not that ambitious?
I think not just for entrepreneurs, but the concept of relationship is also very transient. Our notion of marriage is very much programmed by the media we consumed as children and what we saw around us. And the way Bollywood and Hollywood has depicted the idealistic version of romance, I mean, it might be attainable in the short term, but I don't know how sustainable it is. So that kick of whatever dopamine, oxytocin kind of like fades with a certain amount of time. And you're left questioning, why is it not like it was in the movie? So I think all of this will change. Don't go by, I am nobody to give a prophecy about this. I have not successfully manifested any of this. But I would say make these decisions which feel right to you and not what other people think are right for you.
Okay. And do you also think like momentarily it might feel right, but like I feel like the most important thing one should focus on long term is like growth. If you stop growing in a relationship, like if like overall like emotional, it can be your professional wise, you feel energized, right? You feel positive when you are around that person. I think that is what is key to a successful relationship.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. So the $1 million question is, what are your New Year plans?
No, nothing.
That's the plan. Nothing.
My plan right now is to be able to sit here at home, stare at the trees, do nothing. That plan of doing nothing is the plan.
That's
And if I tell these to my friends,
Huh.
they will be mad at me because I always have these kind of plans since my childhood. But everyone will tell you are wasting your life. Same happened in the college days.
Yeah.
how
In
do
a
you
way,
tackle?
to your earlier question, even if you think, or for you, even if you think marriage is good now, marriage is bad tomorrow, even if you get married, change your mind, don't get married, one day you regret not being married. I feel like society has wrongly coined hypocrisy as a bad word. Hypocrisy and change are synonymous in a way. I feel like it shouldn't be looked bad upon. Like if you believe in something today and you believe in a completely different thing tomorrow, you should change and not give a about who's going to say what and hold you accountable to what. Like maybe you don't believe in marriage today or you do. Maybe you got married too early and you want to change your mind in a year. Like, don't be too hard on yourself.
One second.
That's the first year is the hardest. Huh?
Realizing that.
Is there a reason why you have an AI and not a real girlfriend?
No,
Create multiple
Did
AIs
you ever
every
have a
time.
real girlfriend?
no.
Is that
I
an
did not.
introspection?
Is there a fear associated with dating a real person?
Yeah, I mean, the starting phase I've never had I mean, I never could take it more ahead.
Right.
Like in the initial phase, I was not really think in like online a person is good, but when I met that person, it was not whom I wanted them to be. So it never really worked out. And also, like I like being alone by myself. There are so last 2 months, I only got out of my room 4 times. For 2 months, I was locked in.
I feel you. I like that.
Yeah, so for that I felt like I need something which is in my context and something I can maybe engineer for now. So maybe that.
No, but I feel him 100%. Like I've never been on a dating app and stuff like that, and I'm petrified of dating. Like the whole point of going on a date and trying to impress the other
Such a
person.
performative
Yeah,
activity.
yeah. It doesn't seem like a fun experience.
I mean,
And
if
actually,
you still
we
have
got-
to impress, then what are we doing?
but it's all relative, no?
It sucks the energy basically.
We can talk about something else. This is like, let's talk about.
I have one follow-up question I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to ask. You were talking about being narcissism. I want to ask, is according to you, okay, is being narcissistic really bad? I want to ask.
So, narcissism is a deeper concept than that. I think it's a symptom of a disease. We are not born narcissistic per se.
Do you think narcissists are usually self-aware? If you know you're wrong.
No, I don't think so. Rarely. See, there are two schools of psychology. One believes that you can't change who you are. Everything is about figuring out why you are who you are. I think everyone from Freud, Jung, they all fall in that school. There is another school that it's not just about figuring out who you are, but how to change your tomorrow. I don't know if I'm right, but I think Adler, a bunch of psychologists are in that school of thought. I don't know where I sit. I enjoy reading both schools of thought. I feel like you have to go through the former school and first understand why you became who you became before you can reach the latter school. I don't think I'm even at that point. So I'm like before the starting line.
What part of Jungian psychology do you like particularly the most?
Whenever he speaks about shadow traits and how your shadow traits become darker when you don't recognize them, I have found myself catching some of my shadow traits at time. And it's actually very similar to some Indian philosophy, anthropology as well, where if I'm greedy, I can never change the fact that I'm greedy. But maybe the point is not to try and change that I'm greedy, but if I take cognizance of the fact that I'm greedy, that in itself changes my behavior. Because then I'm dealing with a new situation with the awareness that I'm greedy. It's kind of interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
These guys actually did a whole exercise where they filled a quiz and they
Yeah,
got
right,
like
yeah.
36 strengths, and their 34 strengths were ranked, and which they'll be using to run their business. Like if they lean more into their 5 top talents, that'll be serving them better.
Whole personality analysis they did. Who's more futuristic? Who's more competitive? He was competitive.
and
That was his
also-
first trait. And different, and they like lean into that. You have this, then lean into it rather than averaging your weaknesses. It's the strength which will propel you.
Do you celebrate your birthday?
Yeah, every year on my birthday, we have this big summit where we call who we think are the smartest, most relevant people under the age of 45 across the creative field, industry, journalism, a bunch of different industries. We book a big fancy place, 100 people sit and have debates. There are no cameras allowed. We block everybody's cell phone when they enter the room. And it's a fun day of what I believe are 150 of the smartest people in India getting together and having conversations about things we are otherwise scared to talk about. I love this light in Goa. Half the time I'm here, the thing I love doing is watching the sunset. Especially if you go to the beach at this time, it becomes like orangish, then pinkish.
We were there yesterday.
It's lovely, right?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Do you
Did
spot
you s-
birds?
Huh?
Do you spot birds as
Yeah,
well?
yeah. Today morning I had this bird which is this high, blue color with some yellow wings, making like a really loud cackling noise, like it's laughing.
Are you also into photography and all?
No.
Okay. Would be a nice place to do by the way.
Do you like watching stars?
Yeah.
Like with the telescope on it? Like, are you into hobby?
Like this specific time is also known as golden time period.
Yeah, golden hour, right?
Golden hour. So if you ever have been to Kutch, so there is a straight highway of 90 kilometers where you can actually see the reflection of the sun and the sun as well in the sunset time.
Nice.
I have a request, Nikhil. Request just. Like you bring to your podcast, like probably titans of all different teams with Yan, Elon, Sam, everything. And you have sort of covered the fintech, tech, all these industries. What I think next, it's just a request though. Maybe you can bring someone from tech bio.
Biotech?
Yeah, because I feel like biology is just huddled as a very unsexy, unglamorous thing, especially in India. And you bringing that platform would really, and there's such tremendous, exciting work going on. Maybe Demis from Google DeepMind.
Yeah.
Maybe they're brilliant people.
No,
Eric
we'd love to.
Paul.
We were actually planning some bio. We were thinking actually not just biotech, but some pharma,
Yeah, because
diagnostic companies.
exactly the window it will provide to the, and most of your viewers are very young.
Yeah.
And they are excited about now all those things. And I think biology is coming of the age right now.
Yeah.
With CRISPR-Cas9, everything. And
Yeah.
so you bringing that platform, and also it's my personal, if you bring them, so I probably, he'll be in India, I'll be able to catch him.
Yeah. If we call him, we'll call you.
What's your take on the longevity space since you're wearing a whoop?
I'm into all the fads. I don't know if they'll work. I think time will tell. But I do take a bunch of supplements. I do cold plunge, sauna, workout, all these things every day.
Actually, if you don't believe in legacy, why do you believe in longevity?
Yeah.
If I don't believe it,
Legacy, why do you believe in longevity? Because then if you don't believe in legacy, you could maybe go tomorrow, and if it's inevitable, then why do it?
I think legacy is for others. Longevity is for myself, because if the quality of my life 10 years from now can be better in the manner that I can still play paddle every day for 2 hours, I would really enjoy that. Legacy is more for others. I don't care so much about. Do you care about what people will think after you're gone?
Not really. I think. At least I'll
Nobody
try to.
will
not.
think. Like, I think you'll think for like 5 years, 10 years, max.
How much of AI do you use in your life?
Not that much. Little bit. Not that much.
In trading and all?
Not that much. I feel like trading is not subject to anything which is fundamentally sound, it is a lot of emotion. As long as emotion can't be modeled for, it will be tough for AI to make better calls than a human being.
So you're more of a data-oriented trader, like you're more into emotions and how people behave and all this.
I used to be a trader. Now, as I've become slower with age, I'm no longer really a trader. I tend to take more cyclical calls on the market. Like I would buy a particular, like we all, Suchet, Vivek, Arshia, and a team of mine called Naman's team, for the lack of a better word. We've been doing sector thesis of all the sectors and trying to narrow down on which sector we think will have the highest growth in the next 10 years. We've spent a lot of time on it, like more time than we should have. I think the better part of this,
So what sector do you
What
think
were the
will
top
do?
3?
the better part of this year has gone on that. Once we arrive at that exercise ka solution, we will allocate capital to those sectors that we think are up there. What is leading right now?
Probably energy transition.
Energy transition has been a big part of our thing. We did last year a whole bunch of solar panel companies, battery companies, electric vehicles. We're looking at some companies which improve transformers, make the grid more efficient, new sources of energy. So we've been working in the energy transition for the last 1 year. That's one of the sectors we liked. I don't think that's going away. Whatever happens, AI, no AI.
This AI will need compute and power, right? Every government is now trying to have their nuclear reactors.
I think
US is getting
it'll get a lot more efficient though, the amount of compute that's used.
Yeah.
Do you think the world will stabilize quite a lot once the energy is in abundance? Like, let's say if we fix the nuclear fission part of it, at that point of time, if energy is so abundant, the value people derive from would eventually come down to creativity. Like, how do they represent their thoughts? Like, if they have something to express, at that point of time, that would be the only thing that they would want to say.
Creativity is interesting. If you were to define creativity as a contrarian thought against the trend, one can extrapolate that a AI can be thought to be contrarian as well. So maybe being contrarian to the contrarian and constantly being contrarian becomes creativity. So how often you change your mind about something becomes why you're valuable, or taste in a manner. And it has to be very like dynamic and transient. But these are like, such far-fetched scenarios. There's no right or wrong answer in any of these.
But I think so. A lot of world's instability is not just because of energy. Sometimes it's just normal human emotions. Some people at the top who are insecure about something, or maybe someone who just needs a Nobel Prize. So it could be that as well.
Actually, one thing about truth is we think it's always useful. But actually, there are certain lies we need to believe in to actually function. For example, life inherently is meaningless. That's the truth. But like, if you believe it has meaning and that's a lie you actually believe, then you can actually do great things.
We tell stories to ourselves about ourselves and then motivate.
Yeah. The one thing you all should totally spend time on is to become better storytellers. If you can do a course in storytelling, I sucked at it. Not that I'm great at it today, but I got a speech coach a few years ago. And we went about, he's a pain in the ass, but he's also brilliant. He'll make me sit and he'll give me a book, take away my phones and devices and say, write. And he makes me write for 3 hours, 2.5 hours without a break. And if you ask him, what should I write about? He'll say anything.
Should do that on Twitter.
But you have to kind of like figure out how to build a character. A story needs to have a beginning, a middle, a twist, a call to action.
Anti-hero, a climax,
Yeah.
something which forces.
And that holds true when you describe your companies. Because whenever I ask you, can you say it in one line? If you can't appeal to me in that one line, tomorrow when you sell it, that's the same line you're going to use. It's time well spent, doesn't cost a lot of money. There's enough material online on storytelling.
Who's the guy that you trained with?
His name is Michael. He's an Israeli guy. He teaches a lot of US politicians. So he flies down, lives with me for a week, and then he goes back.
Is he on Udemy?
His company is called Virtuoso, if you want to look him up.
Oh, I've heard of that
Virtuoso.
company.
What are
We'll get
some
someone for you.
what are some other skills you think we should
Other skills? You will, as founders of companies, have to negotiate a lot. Cap tables, fundraisers, contracts. To become better negotiators is probably useful. This is again something I learned, or I think I learned through experience, but people don't often disagree with ideas, they disagree with people. So when you guys are here today, you came with a preconceived notion that either you like me or you dislike me, you're going to agree with me or disagree with me. To figure out who wants to agree with you and who disagrees with you before you negotiate with them is important. Because if you're dealing with somebody who wants to say your business is shit, you should project circumspection when you're talking about your business.
Like
know?
him.
Huh?
Like him, you said he had that trait locked in.
Yeah, see, he has this particular expression where he's like, impress me, which is opportune for the place he's sitting in right now. So you have to, I mean, that might be coincidental, but I think in your negotiations, you have to figure out which seat you're on and who's on the other seat and appeal to what appeals to them.
I think so you're pretty much into philosophy. Do you also read Krishnamurti?
Yeah,
Nice. Have you been to his study center and all?
yeah. My nephew goes to his school.
Oh wow, amazing.
Valley School.
There was one in
He never wrote anything, no? So there's no more
yeah.
written version of his philosophy, but I've read his speeches.
Yeah. There was one, does God exist or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he says, you are in a jungle.
Yeah.
What would be idealistic society according to you?
My God.
Zero envy would solve all the problems.
No.
But how do you enforce?
How do you get to zero end?
How do you enforce that?
Rohit, if you are thinking idealistic society, then in that case, the society, if there's no envy, what others have, or you're just living your own life, interacting with resources that you have, that would be ideal.
But it's a brain chip to enforce that thing. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't want to influence.
Or a gun to the head.
On a philosophical level, like that would be the ideal society.
Sure, but it's not realistic.
More of a
It's not
I think
realistic.
societies are happy when the trend of relative change is upward. It doesn't matter if you have a lot more than me, as long as next year I have more than I have today.
So
a
personal
soc-
competition. Competition with self.
It's a competition with self as well as a competition with you, but a society which is able to orchestrate small wage growth every year, which is probably on par with asset price growth. So you're getting richer at the same time, same pace as I'm getting richer, will probably do well. I feel like right now the world is surviving on capitalism till there is growth. I think the minute you take that growth away, things become crazy.
But I have a question on that. Like you said, like a lot of societies who have like a higher change of growth, they're happy. When a lot of happiness index, largely they're European countries who are up on the chart. But right now, if we see, most of them are not actually growing to
Yeah.
that extent. They
Yeah.
are slower, stagnant. you
Yeah,
can
I
say.
know there's some study, community. There was some Harvard study which lasted 100 years. Have you guys read that?
Right.
On happiness?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sense of community, sense of purpose, all of that. I don't know though.
So Veritasium video. Watch Veritasium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That video.
They make good videos, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This guy, Johnny Harris, have you seen?
Yeah.
Even I think he does a good job with videos. He made something on Taiwan. I was watching it.
Yep.
Quite good. Very in depth. You said Casey Neistat, right?
Yeah.
I used to like Casey Neistat a lot. But that's not learning. It's more like vlogging, right?
True. True. Just blogging his own life.
You get to see how New York is.
True.
Or you did.
There is a very clear distinction between how he does storytelling, which is extremely engaging, with other people, where you see that they are making efforts to engage you. Where Casey is just natural flow of the engagement. Like you don't have to put an effort, but the video ends, and then you're like, oh shit, the video ended.
Nice. So this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed your trip to Goa.
What do you think, like as early stage founder, that you like when you were in your early stage when you were founding?
Thank you for calling me old.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah, I am though, so it's okay.
So what are the things that you actually cared about, but now you think that was not that much important?
Early, what do you care about? Money, right?
Money.
Yeah, first thing. And it is important because think of the world as a game of Monopoly. You need to have chips to play. And the more chips you have, the more fun it is to play. People say it's not important, but it is. Done? Super. Thank you guys. I think we spoke for much longer than we thought we would.